I'm 54 years old, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm about to destroy every excuse you've ever told yourself for why you're still stuck. You want the glow up, but still live like every day is a cheat day. Not only nutritionally, but spiritually, financially, and emotionally. You're scared of failure, but what should terrify you more is being 5 years older, scrolling TikTok and Instagram, still saying, someday. You've mastered potential, but you refuse to master commitment. You say you want luxury, but your effort is giving clearance rack. You romanticize the future, but you date your bad habits like they're your soulmate. You ask for clarity, but then you ignore it every time it shows up dressed as hard work. You want better, but you keep walking back to average like it's your childhood home. You're not tired from chasing your dreams. You're tired from running in circles around the same excuses. You want the freedom that comes with discipline, but you treat structure like it's punishment. You want success, but only if it fits nicely between your distractions and your excuses. You made a vision board for a life your habits are actively rejecting. You keep blaming burnout, but truthfully, you've been coasting on daydreams and dopamine for months. You say you're serious this time, but the last version of you said the same thing with the same habits. Book a figure it out session. Or don't. Hope that helps.
Harsh truth, but you need to hear it. This is coming from someone who lacked discipline and self-trust like a year ago. The only reason why you're not disciplined, right? It's not that you're not capable of discipline. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're not productive. It's the fact that you don't trust yourself, because discipline comes with self-trust. And if you do not trust yourself on a subconscious level, you're never going to be able to form discipline. Because think about it. In order to gain discipline is doing the things that you don't want to do and still doing them. Whether it's going to the gym, whether it's, I don't know, I can only think of going to the gym, or eating healthy or something. It's doing things that you do not want to do, but you're doing it because you've built a habit with yourself. You've built routine within yourself. This is something that's going to help you. It's going to better you. It's for your own betterment. So you choose to do it. It's a choice to do the things you don't want to do, even though you need to do them. And so if you're someone who has constantly been like, yeah, I'm going to eat better, or I'm going to start going to the gym this week, or I'm going to start getting up earlier, or I'm going to start journaling, I'm going to start meditating, and then you don't follow through with yourself, you're subconsciously telling yourself that if you say that you're going to do something, you're not going to follow through. Which means you don't have self-trust with yourself, which means it's going to be harder for you to form discipline because you don't even trust yourself enough to gain discipline in the first place. And it's not hard to break out of. You just have to build small habits and follow through with them. How I did this for myself was I said, like in March, I gave myself 3 habits to do every single day. It was, and mind you, I do these things every single day already sometimes. Like my habits were taking my birth control every day when my alarm went off, washing my face in the morning and at night, and brushing my teeth before, like when I went to bed and when I woke up. And it wasn't the fact that I wasn't doing them every day. It was the fact that I wasn't doing them when I wanted to do them. Like I would wake up and then do other things before brushing my teeth. Or I would wake up and, do something else before like washing my face. I would wake up and scroll before doing that. No. I said, I'm going to wake up. As soon as I get out of bed, I'm going to brush my teeth, wash my face, do whatever I need to do. When my alarm goes off for birth control, it wasn't that I wasn't taking my birth control. It was that I was snoozing the alarm when it went off to take the birth control. So instead of snoozing the alarm, I'm just going to take the birth control when my alarm goes off. And by me doing that, by me waking up, getting out of bed when my alarm went off and going straight to the bathroom to do the things that I said I would do, it built trust in myself to continue to keep adding on more extensive habits to my routine. Like you're not just going to force yourself to do shit that you don't want to do immediately. You have to start small in order to see big results. Like it's going to take time, and that's okay. All we got is time, really. You literally just have to start with the smaller things. And now that I do that, I literally, whenever I get up out of bed, I go and brush my teeth. I wash my face. It's an unconscious habit now because I followed through with myself in the hard times when I didn't want to do it. When my alarm went off, when I was doing something busy and my alarm went off to take birth control, I'm like, fuck. I had to do it. I went and did it because I wrote it down. Writing down your habits and writing down your goals, writing down things that you say you want to do, and actually it allows you to follow through with them because you wrote them down. I don't know what the science is behind it. Whenever I write something down, I always feel like I have an obligation to complete it. So start small. It's literally still the beginning of the month. Not really. We're kind of 2 weeks in, but who cares? Start small. For this month of July, write out 2 things that you're going to do every single day consistently and follow through with yourself and do them. And then the next month, add on 3 more habits on top of those 3 habits that you did for the previous month. That's how you build good habits. That's how you build discipline. Okay? You can do it. It's easy. I did it. And I used to be the most undisciplined person in the entire world. I swear on everything. Now I'm very disciplined. I have a strict schedule. I get up. I go to the gym. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I do that. Why? Because it's a part of, I could make a whole big ass video as to why habits and your identity need to coexist in one, and they need to all shift at the same time in order to get the life you want to live. But that life you want to live is on the opposite side of discipline. And it's simple.
One of the sexiest things you can be in this life is disciplined. And these are 5 easy ways to stay disciplined on your glow up journey. Number 1, no 0 days. A 0 day is when you do not do one single thing that is going to help you reach your goal. Now, I'm not saying that you have to run a marathon, but what I am saying is that your goal is to get fitter, to get into better shape. You have to you have to promise yourself that the new system you live in is a non-zero system. So if it is 11:55 at night and you did not move your body a single inch today, or you did not read any of your book today, read 1 page, do a single push-up, do a little stretch. Something is better than nothing, and done is better than perfect. 2 is to release perfectionism. Don't think about doing something, just do it as fast as you can. Posting the video, going to the gym, showing up to a class. Focus on getting the work done rather than doing it perfect. If you have a history of being a procrastinator, this will serve you very well. Save refinements and reviews for later. I think it's strategic goal implementation. Focus on one goal at a time. It's so easy for us to be like, it's New Year, it's Monday, it's a new month, I'm going to do this, and this. No. Wait for routines to settle before you add in new goals. If that takes you 66 days, it takes you 66 days. If it takes you 5 months, it takes you 5 months. Build on habits gradually rather than adding everything in at once. This is going to change your life. I think it's smart deadline management. Break larger projects into smaller ones. So if the goal is I want to read more, we're going to break it down. How many books do you want to read a month? How many chapters do you want to read in a week? How many pages do you want to read in a day? And be realistic with how much time you have. If you don't have time to read 100 pages a day, read 2 or 1. Create realistic daily tasks that you actually have the time and capacity to complete. And finally, allow yourself to forgive yourself. You could have all the money, the know-how, the ability to get things done. And sometimes you might not do it. Let's say you missed that no 0 day. Being disappointed in yourself causes you to be less disciplined, less productive. So forgive yourself and know that today is a new day. You don't have to make up for it. You don't have to compensate. Just get on with the task at hand, the no 0 day today, and do it for future you.
I discovered this practice literally today while I was struggling to get out of bed, and it is to see any kind of resistance as an opportunity to build discipline. So for example, this morning, I was supposed to wake up at like 7 a.m. and when the alarm rang, I was like, nope, I'm going back to bed. So I did. I snoozed and I was happily going back to bed. And while I was drifting back to my sleep, in my mind, I was like, wait, this is exactly the reason why I set this goal up yesterday. Because I knew that I wasn't gonna feel great waking up, but I wanted to practice choosing doing the uncomfortable despite what I feel, because I know in the long run it's gonna be good for me and it's gonna build discipline. And I was like, wait, I need to wake up. And I did. And I felt so good because within 5 minutes I was already awake, and I actually woke up and went to Pilates and did all the things that I wanted to do. I say opportunity because if there's no resistance, you're just gonna do it. Like there's nothing holding you back or anything, right? But then if there is resistance, like feeling lazy, tired, making excuses, etc., that's an opportunity. Like you have choices to make, you know, you're not just doing and going, there are choices to make. So yeah, if you view it that way, you feel kind of motivated to just choose that because you're like, whoa, this is an opportunity rather than like it being a destructive thing.
Listen, I don't know who the fuck needs to hear this one today, but I don't think you truly understand how good your life is going to get when you just start doing the things that you know that you need to do in order to get yourself to that next level. Everybody massively overthinks this, and they keep themselves then stuck in this box, and they never get to where they want to be because they spend more time overthinking and thinking about doing it instead of actually doing it. Is it scary? Yeah, of course it is. It's fucking normal. But you want to know something that's actually scary? Looking back in 10 years from now and thinking about the person that you could have became if you just started doing the things that you know that you needed to be doing right now. Everybody massively overthinks this, but if you stopped overthinking everything and you just started taking so much fucking action in the direction you know that you want your life to go in, this is when things are going to get better than ever. And you have this idea that it has to be harder than it is because your programming is bad. And once you realize that all of this programming is nothing more than shit that you grew up with and shit that other people told you was true, but none of it's actually true, it's just limiting thoughts and beliefs, and you learn how to break through those things and become the best version of you, that's what your life is going to look like. But it starts with you being fucking brave.
I don't know who needs to hear this today, but if you're not doing something, you're making that thing like too big of a deal. Like whatever it is that you've been wanting to start, if you're not doing it, you're like making it into a bigger task than it has to be. Like let's say you want to eat healthier and you're like, oh, now I need to do like no gluten and no sugar and no saturated fat. Like no, like literally just drink more water. Start with the smallest thing and like get the momentum going. For me, it was starting this TikTok channel. For literally over a year and a half, I ruminated about, oh, what's going to be my content strategy? What's going to be my brand? I need to learn about like trending audios and how to do CapCut. Like, no, I literally hold up the camera like I'm talking on FaceTime and just start talking, and the momentum builds. So whatever it is you're preventing from doing today, just start small. Just do one tiny thing and watch the momentum build.
If you're trying to become more disciplined, I would say I have 3 broad tips. Number 1, start small. Number 2, start early. And number 3, make it easy for yourself. Pick something small that you know you can be consistent with. I honestly do this when I feel like I'm losing my sense of orientation and discipline. So I am going to take the trash out at 7 every day, or I am going to get out of bed at this time every day. It can be small. If anything, that's the point. Start small so that the odds of you being consistent are higher and you build that muscle memory of sticking to what you said you would do. I honestly view discipline as a form of just keeping your word to yourself. Number 2, start early, and that can mean both early in life and also early in your actual day. Early in life, because I feel like a lot of the ways that I have developed discipline has just come from systems and the structures that I had in place as a child, as a teenager, as a high schooler. So what you are seeing now is just the result of many, many years in the bag of me doing the same thing. If you are past that stage, it is not too late, but the point is start early, as in today. But then also start early in your day. I feel like if you leave the things that you said you would be disciplined about to the end of the day, the odds of you doing them are less likely. Get them out of the way early in the morning. You get that little nice good feeling. It just gives you a boost to go about your day. Number 3, make it easier for you. I think people have this impression that like discipline is doing the hard things even when you don't want to, and that's true, but make it easy for you to do the hard things. I work out 5 days a week, and it absolutely was not always this way. Me working out 5 days a week started during the pandemic when I would do at-home workouts. At-home workouts made it much easier for me to be consistent with working out. I don't do at-home workouts anymore, but I do all of my workouts from the gym that's in my apartment building. If my workouts were solid core classes or soul cycle classes or anything that required me to leave my home, I can tell you right now, the 5 days a week would go out the window. So essentially, in order for me to maintain that level of discipline when it comes to working out, I need to have a method of working out without leaving my home, without leaving my apartment building. That's my way of making it easier to maintain that discipline. Whatever you need to do to make it easy for you, feel free to do that because it's not by force. As always, take this with a grain of salt. If you have any, challenges, talk to a therapist, talk to a mental health professional, talk to a life coach, whatever. But this is if you are someone who just is like, I want to get better about certain things and there's nothing holding me back. Hopefully this helps.
If I wanted to become a more disciplined version of myself, this is exactly what I would do. First thing I would do is simplify my life. A lot of people assume that if you want to get well or be well or live like this really healthy and fulfilled life, there's a lot of stuff you have to accumulate to make that happen. My experience, being more disciplined is a product of having fewer decisions on a daily basis. Consistency will be your new best friend because what happens is we get a lot of decision fatigue throughout the day. We have to make so many different choices. So if you're able to remove the barrier of choice around some of the really critical things you want to accomplish each day, you are already freeing up so much time and mental energy for yourself to put towards things that really matter. A few things that have been really impactful for me are waking up and going to bed at the same exact time every single day. If you want to be a morning person, you have to start going to bed earlier and you have to start waking up earlier. It's really as simple as that. Studies that show that one of the best things for our bodies is consistency, and our body responds really well to having the same routine of waking up and going to sleep every single night. Next thing I would do is get rid of the things in my house that stress me out. Become a culture that consumes so much, and don't get me wrong, I love a cute workout set and outfit as much as the next girl, but having too much of something there's no way that you're going to use it all. And honestly, it just ends up cluttering your space. And again, it leads to decision fatigue, because if you're having to root through your closet past all these things you know you're never gonna wear, if you feel like you're constantly surrounded by mess in your apartment, so you're spending all this time you would want to, like being at the gym or working towards your side business or spending time with friends, just cleaning your apartment, that's exhausting, and that's never gonna get you where you wanna go. Some discernment, be tough on yourself, and get rid of the things that don't bring you joy or value. The thing I would do if I wanted to become more disciplined is take this simplification into my eating habits. People often ask me, Elizabeth, don't you get bored eating virtually the same thing for breakfast every single day? And my answer is no. I look forward to it because it tastes delicious. I know it has all the nutrients that I want and need to start my day so I can hit my protein macros. It's going to age me, but I believe I've reached a point in life where the way that food makes me feel physically throughout the day is more important than the way that it tastes in the moment. I still think it's delicious, but of course, like a huge stack of chocolate chip pancakes with whipped cream would taste better, but I know that I'm going to completely crash out from the sugar later in that morning. So if I stick to the foods that I know make me feel good and give me the energy to accomplish all the things I want to in the day, I'm removing that decision fatigue of like, what do I need to make every morning? And I have so many more things that have helped me become more disciplined. But the last thing that I would do if I wanted to become more disciplined is I would bookend my day with reading or meditation. I definitely became conditioned to just be on my phone scrolling first thing in the morning and last thing before I go to bed at night. And when I was able to change this habit, it really changed everything for me in terms of discipline, because I think what I found is that if I am on my phone right before I go to sleep or right when I wake up in the morning, I am letting something else, I'm letting other people, I'm letting social media kind of dictate the way that my day is going to go or the way that my day is going to close out. Sound a little woo-woo, a little wacky, but I think it's just a way that we kind of give other people our power, and we're not able then to create the narrative that we need to have to go through the day. So when I was able to switch the doom scroll in the morning to listening to affirmations on my phone, I know it sounds silly to a lot of people, but it helps, or doing a little bit of meditation, I am able to consciously set up my day, my mindset for the day, and choose how I want to move through the world today. What are the things that I need to do to get my mind right, get my spirit right, get my body right? And you then have control of your morning. You are the person who decides, like, this is going to be my mindset going into the day. Also, doom scrolling at night, your sleep quality, so much worse if you're on screens before bed. And I feel like I'm never really winding down. A lot of times I know myself, will just end up in a place where I'm comparing my social media to other people. So I'll be like, wow, Elizabeth, the videos you put out today are so bad in comparison to X, Y, or Z. Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they got this brand deal or got invited to this event. And if I'm beginning and ending my day on a note of like jealousy and lack of self-belief and negative talk, that's not doing anything good for me. I genuinely cannot stress this enough, but your motivation in becoming a happier and more fulfilled and more productive person, which I think is at the crux of becoming more disciplined, is not going to come from you being made upset, angry, jealous, what have you, from what other people are doing. Discipline is really a function of being able to stay in your lane, clean up your side of the street, and simplifying your life. Having too much stuff and spending too much time on social media and giving yourself all of these like really arbitrary, unnecessary decisions that just end up stressing you out but are very inconsequential throughout the day, that's the stuff that's burning you out and making you unhappy, and that is the wall between you and the discipline and the life that you want. It sounds like I'm going to try to sell you an ebook course now, but I'm not. This is just stuff that I've learned. I went from being an incredibly undisciplined to an incredibly disciplined person in the span of about a year, and I have so much more that I could share on this topic. It's something I'm really, really passionate about, because I think a lot of people just assume that they don't have the ability to change their life and take control over their habits. But I feel like I'm living proof that you can, and it might take some time and it might not be comfy at the beginning, but it really, really changes everything.
Okay, these are the things that have really helped me get into a better mindset around my fitness, my goals, all of these things. I was in literally like a 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 year slump of not being disciplined, like coming in and out of working towards my goals, always being like still healthy, but not actually focusing on what I wanted to accomplish and getting in shape and kind of being disciplined. Here are the things that have helped me. What I've found is that like once you actually start being disciplined in a few ways, everything else falls in line, starts to feel easy, and you start doing more things that you say you're going to do and getting closer and closer, which then fuels you because you feel confident in the fact that you're moving forward. The first thing that I feel like has really helped me is waking up and like immediately walking. I walk my dogs, but one of my goals is to get like a lot of steps and to be like a very active, healthy person and not be so lazy. And so by getting out there and walking my dogs, by the time I come back, I already have like 2,000 steps. I'm like already on my way to my step goal. And so I might as well keep it going. It just like gets me in momentum for the day and really helps. It also like getting outside into the world and clearing your head, because I really struggle with like wanting to stay inside and in my house and like not go out and do things. Getting outside first thing in the morning really, really helps. I think it just like gets your blood flowing, you're in nature, sunlight on your face, like it's helped me so much. The next thing is kind of like setting a date that you're just gonna go like really hard, like no matter if you want to or not, because I think the hardest part for me is like the consistency. I can do it for a few days, but like when there's no end in sight and I'm just like not in a good headspace, not in a determined headspace, I let it go. And people always say there's a difference between motivation and discipline. And that's exactly what like setting a goal date of like, okay, let's say mine was 60 days from when I started. And so it's like, you tell yourself like, just for these 60 days, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And one of mine is wake up really early and do a workout. Either it's 10 to 15,000 steps as my workout in the morning. And then 2 to 3 times a week, it's like real workout weightlifting. And for 60 days, I'm doing that no matter if I think it's working, no matter if I don't think it's working, no matter if I feel super swollen, no matter if I'm super sore. Like I'm doing that for that period of time because you can do anything for 60 days. So like having a finite end date, even though I know by the time that ends, if I'm doing that whole time, like I'm gonna want to keep going. Okay, the next part is like slightly woo-woo, but it so helps. It's like whoever it is that you want to be. So like let's go with the part of me right now that's focusing on the fact that like I'm super fit, I'm a gym person, and I'm like really in shape. Like just telling yourself you're already that. Like I'm not getting in shape, like I'm in shape. I'm a gym girl. So everything I do, I'm like, well, I'm a gym girl, I do this. I'm a gym girl, I should take creatine. I'm a gym girl, I should have aminos. I'm a gym girl, I should eat protein. Like it's really just like getting your mind in the mentality of being the person you already want to be. Like, no, obviously after 2 weeks, I'm not in peak physical condition, but like I'm pretending like I am. Like I'm literally waking up and I'm like, ooh, doing what gym girl things do. Like, oh, gym girls, yeah, they don't mind getting tons of steps all day. Like they'll walk to get their groceries instead because they're just super fit. It's like really embodying the person that you want to be before you're already that person. One thing that actually really helps me with this is there's an app called Activations, and I have been using it for years. It used to be called Superhuman, and it really just like, it has like this cinematic music. It gets you really in this like inspired state, and it's all about like becoming the person you want to be now. And I just love it. They have these walking ones. And so when I'm on walks and like I'm totally out of content, but I still have a trillion more steps to go, call that one. Okay, another thing is having like one token thing in your routine or like food that you consume that's kind of like a good trigger. So for me, it's yogurt bowls. Like when I'm on my yogurt bowl grind, like I am like, it's telling my brain like I'm in routine, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. When I eat my yogurt bowl, I'm like, okay, game on. Like today is a normal day. It kind of like clicks me back into action. Maybe it's like for you, like having electrolytes, and that's kind of like your one health signifier. That's kind of like, okay, whatever else you've done that day, even if it wasn't the things that you think are going to get you closer to your goals, like this one thing, at least you did that. And I think that can help you with getting back on the track for discipline. Since I've been doing all of these things, like everything else in my life is seeming easier, and I want to do other things that are good for me. Like instead of watching TV at night or scrolling, I'm like, why don't I just read? Because like in my head, I'm like, you're already just like being such a good version of yourself. Like you might as well not like rot your brain away tonight and read and watch more TV, even though I still do that all the time. But like, I'm just like, can notice myself more wanting to do the things that are better for me because I am like making myself do a certain amount of things that are good for me. And so I'm feeling like better and I have more confidence in myself and more trust with myself that I'm like the person that I want to be. So then I'm doing more of the things that I want to do.
Hi, my loves. If you are struggling with staying disciplined, you cannot lose the weight. You keep cheating and binging and failing, making millions of excuses and letting your emotions dictate your actions, what your body looks like, what your life looks like. I have one thing for you. You know how you're going to be disciplined? What worked for me? You're going to be a little delusional. You are going to romanticize the habits that you need to do to get to your dream body so hard that they become a ritual. They become a routine. You are in love with these habits. They become a part of who you are, not just what you do. I have to drink my water every morning. Okay, I get to wake up, fill up my water bottle. I say some affirmations into my water. It works. Drink her. I'm so cute. I'm so clean. Look at me drinking my water. Put some lemon slices, cucumber in there. Level up. I have caffeine every morning. It really helps with my appetite and my cravings in the afternoon. I look forward to it every day. It is a ritual now. I get to make my little coffee or pop open my Alani, that first sip. Best part of my day. I fall asleep at night giggling, kicking my feet. My hawker walks every single day. I walk an hour to 2 hours every day. I used to dread it. I didn't want to do it. It was a chore. Now, it's therapy. It's a reward. You're telling me I get to put on a cute little outfit and go outside, be the main character for a little bit, listen to my music, have alone time, soak up some sun, get some fresh air, move my body, look good? I'll be there. Sleep is so important for weight loss. And guess what? I don't like sleeping. I like having as much time in my day as I possibly can. No matter how tired I am, I will stay up and learn about dinosaurs and space and weird scientific facts because I can. I don't want to waste my time sleeping, but I knew I had to sleep more. What I started doing, I became a little princess at night, up in my castle. I'll do my yoga in my cute pajama set. I'll play jazz, light a candle, my green tea, do my skincare, tuck myself into my fluffy bed. I love sleeping now. I used to have a sweet treat before I went to sleep every night. I'd be laying in bed, watching my TV, pigging out. It was such a comfort thing for me. Now, I like falling asleep on an empty stomach. I maybe have a little bit of grumbles, a little bit of hunger, and I'm like, I'm gonna wake up so skinny tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm gonna have such good dreams tonight because for some reason, when I don't eat at night, I have really vivid, really cool dreams. So I'm gonna have such good dreams tonight. I'm gonna be so snatched in the morning. No bloat. Oh my God, my body's gonna be burning fat while I sleep. Seriously, whatever your goals are, whatever habits you need to do to reach that goal, romanticize them. Be delusional, be a little whimsical, have some fun with it. Be a little crazy. That is the best way to fall in love with something and make it a permanent habit.
Everyone always wants to know, how do I stay disciplined? What is the secret to building discipline? How do you have a disciplined mind? And it's so simple. It's getting so comfy with discomfort. That's it. When you wake up in the morning and you know you have to go to the gym and all you can think about is how much you want to stay in bed, you need to be so addicted to the idea of constantly choosing the path of adversity and discomfort that you get up and you do it anyway. Because your brain needs to be trained to be disciplined. It naturally seeks out comfort. So if you've been invited to an event or you have to give a speech to a room of people and you really don't want to do it and you don't think you're going to do well, you do it anyway. Because with every experience, your brain is slowly starting to be trained to become more and more disciplined and have a higher tolerance for the things you never used to be able to do. Stop sitting around thinking about strategies on how to become disciplined and just challenge yourself to do one thing this week that makes you feel deeply uncomfortable.
Discipline is nothing but...
Here's how you can become so disciplined it becomes stupid easy, okay? Because so many of you guys are living life on autopilot. You feel like time is slipping away from you. It's like sand going through your hands, okay? You feel like life is taking control of you rather than you taking control of it. You are blurring your days together. You don't know what is what. You feel lost in the translation of your own life, all right? You're living in reaction mode rather than proactive. You're being reactive over being proactive. Essentially, life is just happening to you. It's time to get back your power, and you do so by being disciplined, okay? And what does it mean to be disciplined? Essentially, to be disciplined is to become the disciplined disciple of your highest self, okay? Of the greater version of you. You become the disciple of that form. All right, and I'm going to teach you how to do this. And also Aristotle was quoted saying, to achieve freedom, you must be disciplined. I believe the exact quote is, to become disciplined is, through discipline comes freedom. The exact quote by Aristotle in the Greek philosophy. A lot of Greek philosophy talks about this idea of discipline and disciplining thyself being sort of just a way to freedom and personal liberation. So if you feel like you're depressed, you're in rumination, your life is just kind of in chaos, being disciplined, being the disciple of your highest form, your greatest version of self, is really how you begin to start to get that order that comes out of chaos. Okay, so I'm just going to go into some simple tips for you guys, very straightforward, that you can start to implement to become more disciplined and start to live a more satisfied life, a more aligned life with your soul, because your soul knows what is best for you, but you're self-sabotaging yourself through this sort of cognitive dissonance where you're just, you know what you need to do, but you don't do it because you don't have discipline. And why is it that you're lacking the discipline? Because you failed to realize that discipline is part of your nature. You must become the discipline. It must become you. It must become part of your nature, your natural rhythm of life. It's something that may be challenging at first because it seems astray, it seems foreign, it seems far. You know you should do it, but you've conditioned yourself in this program, right? Your mind is a program. And you have to break the pattern, and once you form a new pattern, it becomes normal. Just as your current behavior seems normal, you can make good behaviors and discipline part of that normal identity of who you are. So I'm going to teach you how to do this, all right? Just very basic principles to get you to snap out of the hypnosis and start to snap in to the light that was always there for you, your greatest version. So let's do it. Let's get into it. Number one, this one's going to be very basic, and I was fortunate enough to have implemented this over the years due to my athletic career, being a college athlete, really being involved in sports my entire life has kept me active my entire life, because that's number one for a lot of you. It starts with physical. Get off your ass and start moving, right? Even if it's a walk, getting into the gym, you want to start in increments, but you need to start focusing on your physical number one as your number one priority of discipline, okay? Because if you can conquer your own physique and your own physical ailments of getting in the gym, of overcoming the burden of actually getting your health in check, right? You're going to feel better. But more so, this is just the number one just pillar of discipline, is making sure that you are not overweight and you have a physique that serves you, that you feel good about, and you're constantly building it. It's never ending. It's a constant improvement, right? But that needs to become part of you, right? If you have a big belly, if you are overweight, right? Start with what you can do. Even if it's just walking thousands of steps a day, do it. And then continue to add 1% every day. Kaizen, this is how we see marginal growth theory kick into place. But start with physical discipline, all right? Make that part of your nature. It's part of your daily habits. Even if you're not working out, doing resistance training or progressive overload, whatever it may be, you're at least moving every day, all right? Even if it's like doing yoga because you're sore, you don't feel like your body's able to go to the gym, like anything movement wise is number one every single day. Number two, in becoming disciplined, develop your personal creed. All right, your personal creed is your non-negotiables. All right, it's we're throwing emotion out of the table. All right, we're throwing emotion into the dumpster trash can, and we're disregarding our feelings that are holding us back. I don't feel like getting up and doing this. I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like studying. I don't feel like reading. I'm tired. We're throwing the emotions out, and we're relying on our personal creed, which establishes our own law. This is how we build integrity. This is how we build that person. We're able to look in the mirror and say, I respect the person I see because that person has a non-negotiable code, a law, a personal creed that they fall back on. All right, and this is going to be subject to you, but some examples are: I get up at X time every single day, non-negotiable. I go to the gym this many times a week on these days, non-negotiable, right? I am reading before bed, or I'm journaling every morning, non-negotiable, right? This becomes part of your rhythm. It becomes flow. It's part of your flow state. Okay, and remember, to become disciplined is to become the disciple of higher self. But your personal creed is important. You must decide this on your own. This isn't something you copy from anyone. This is something that you reflect on. And you can kind of use this next step, this next tip to get you going, because it's all about marginal growth, guys. You're going to try to jump over and be extreme. You're going to fail. Extremism is very easy in short bursts, but moderation over a long period of time is very difficult, okay? So we want to seek moderation through delayed gratification here. And you do so by starting small. So what are the two things? You know that your physical regimen needs to be number one. Okay, but like, what's another thing you can add? Start with two things and go from there, right? Discipline yourself in two ways. Start with two things and look at substitutions for habits that are destroying you, and substitute them with habits that will become part of your personal creed or law. Okay, but we start small and we chew what we can handle. Otherwise, you're going to burn out and crash. It's the long game. This is the lifelong journey of building your personal creed, okay? What's next? Define your intention and clarify your why, okay? Your intention, what is it you are intending to do? Very important. And without a strong why, a clear why, that delayed gratification is going to be very difficult, because there's going to be storms, there's going to be choppy waters, and you're going to have to get through that. So define your intention and clarify your why. What is it you're intending to do? What is it you're seeking out? What's like the bigger picture for yourself here, right? Maybe you're overweight and my intention is to feel better, live healthier, inspire others through my own transformation. You know, like your why bakes right into that. You know, your why bakes right into that. Clarify your why. What's sort of the reason you want to do this? And you can kind of clear that up and be very clear on your intention and your why. Essentially, they both work hand in hand, but they're equally as important. It's going to help you weather those storms, because this is the long game, guys. It becomes part of you. It's not even like something you have to try to do at some point. It just is. All right, and that's where we're trying to get, okay? That's where we're going, all right? And then last but not least, very important, I want you guys to really prioritize your mornings. You could easily wake up and start scrolling. That's very easy to do, and that absolutely torches your brain and puts you off on a terrible trajectory for your day. But instead, get up at the time that you have a non-negotiable, right? Like, you know, this is when I get up, and journal. Do something that requires discipline. Put something together for your life where the morning is a W. It's a win. Win the morning, as I say. And I have a whole section on this in my free ebook. You guys can download or DM me life or comment life. I'll send it to you. 10 mindset tips to escape drift and awaken the master within. Because if you structure your morning, it's going to create momentum for your whole day. So this is all I got for you guys. I hope this was valuable. Grateful for all the support. Again, discipline is key, right? Discipline leads to freedom, Aristotle. All right. So I hope this was helpful. I'm grateful for all the support. Much love, and please like, follow, and share for more.